Our first storyteller is a Carapace favorite. Put your hands together and give her thunderous applause all the way up to the microphone. Give it up for Darcy, ladies and gentlemen. Darcy!
I was in the shower when a wave of energy crackled through my brain. And it was like the world around me reshuffled like a deck of magical playing cards. And I had a vision of utopia. And I thought, oh my God, I'm a prophet. Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and now me. And as I knelt down and felt the warm water rushing over my prophet body, I realized, whoa, hold up. The crackle stopped. I am definitely not a prophet. And something is very wrong here. I got out of the shower to tell my husband what was going on. But instead what I said was, I need you to tackle me if I try to leave this room. Do not let me walk out the door. And I said that because the vision and the crackling had come back. And it took a really dark turn this time. I was filled with a deep conviction that my father should have been killed in Vietnam. And I was going to do the world a favor and finish the job. Spoiler alert, my father does not die. And then the baby fussed and my milk let down. Because you see, I was a few days into being a new mother. I was about a week into not having slept at all, and I was 32 years into having had a very difficult relationship with my father, but I never wanted to kill him before. Now the dark and crazy thought edged back, and I wandered downstairs and rambled around the kitchen like you do and tried to get together something that resembled breakfast. And then I had my third vision of the day. I was like a high productivity new prophet, I'm telling you. And my vision this time was, wait a minute. I know this is how my parents and my husband and the baby and I and everybody else in the whole wide world can live in unity. And so I made these gestures, come here, when you've got a vision. And I gestured to my parents and I gestured to my husband, and my mom and my husband came over with nervous smiles on their faces, like, okay, I don't know what game we're playing, but I'll play along. My father looked at me and went like this and said, I don't want to hear it, and turned away. So a few hours later, my husband told my parents that they needed to leave our house in the best interests of everyone involved. But the dark thoughts didn't go away. Because you see, at the root of all this deep, deep anxiety, there was a baby. And she was real, and she was here, and she was mine. And never had I ever wanted anything so badly in my life before, and never had I ever been so terrified of losing it. And so I hovered over her. I couldn't sleep. I could barely eat. I was convinced something was going to fall in her crib, or I was going to drop her, or she was going to roll over and somehow smother herself within the infant mattress. And so I hovered. Yeah, she made it too. She's over there sweating. And I took a break from my week-long baby vigil to go to the bathroom. And in the bathroom, I saw that my hospital-issue shorts were full of blood. And I thought, oh my God, I'm bleeding out. I'm gonna die. Final spoiler, I also don't die. Turned out this is a natural part of the childbirth process, but hey, I hadn't slept for a week, I forgot about that. But I did call an ambulance, which was good, because I needed to be in the hospital, just maybe not the physical one. So hello? Sorry about that, y'all. 3 hospitals later, I landed in the right one for me, the behavioral health hospital that day. Does anybody know what they make you do when you're getting checked into a behavioral health facility? Anybody? Yes? Okay, what? I hear guess. What do they do? Inventory. They do inventory. I lost the strap in my bag. Anything else they make you do? Ooh, they did not make me do that. Okay, we have to talk after. The thing that they made me do, though, is they gave me paperwork. I was seriously having a breakdown, y'all, and they gave me paperwork, but I'm a type A, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ace this paperwork. So I have all these questions until I start writing, and I start writing, and I start writing, and the ideas are flowing, and the questions are coming, and I don't have room on this paper, so I start drawing new lines and filling in the lines, and then I run out of lines, so I write on the side of the paper, and I write on the top of the paper, and I flip the paper over, and I write on the back of the paper. And when I ran out of room, I started writing on my arms and writing on my legs, and by this time I was writing house rules if my father were ever to be allowed in my house again. And the psychiatrist who later treated me said, yeah, I knew you were manic the first time I saw your paperwork. And I said, because of what I wrote? And he said, no, because of how you wrote it. I was in inpatient for 5 days, and my brain calmed down. I was in outpatient, or as I like to call it, mental health graduate school, for about 4 weeks. And you know, the way stories go in our society, at least the kind of, wrap it up all neat, tie it with those stories, is that the end, everything's perfect. But it's not quite like that, even though it's really good. And so after the 5 days and after the 4 weeks, I'm now spending the rest of my forever doing many things like taking real good care of me. Thank you.